when your children pull away, when the silence in your home becomes a language of its own. Have you ever felt it? That quiet shift in the air. The phone on the side table, once a source of connection, now just a clock. The chair they used to sit in, now just a piece of furniture gathering dust. You strain to remember the sound of their laughter in these rooms. You tell yourself they are busy. Life is demanding. Their world is spinning fast. But in the quiet hours when the house is still, a different truth whispers. A painful question that lodges itself in your heart. Do they not want me anymore? It is a grief we are not supposed to speak of. A sorrow that feels like a personal failure. We, who have poured our lives into them like water into a garden. We who have been their first home, their safest harbor. Now we stand at the window watching a life that continues on without us. This is not a conversation about blame. It is not a story of anger. It is a sacred space to acknowledge a hurt that so many of us carry in secret. Today we are going to talk about the silent signs. The subtle ways your children may show you that they are moving on without saying a word. We will name them not to wound ourselves further, but to understand. Because understanding is the first step toward healing. And healing is the first step toward reclaiming your peace, your dignity, and your God-given joy. You deserve to be seen, to be cherished, to be honored. Let us walk through this together with grace and strength. The first sign is the most obvious, and yet the one we make the most excuses for. The phone no longer rings with their name. The effort is now entirely yours. You are the one who initiates every call. You are the one who sends the text message, full of hope, that gets a one-word answer hours later. Or worse, no answer at all. You tell yourself they have their own lives. They're building their own future. I don't want to be a bother. But sister, listen to my spirit on this. Love is never a bother. Connection is not an obligation to be checked off a list. It is the lifeblood of family. Think back to when they were small. Did you ever consider it a chore to hear their voice? To answer their call? No, their voice was music. Their need for you was a confirmation of your purpose. So why should it be different now? Life gets busy. That is a truth as old as time. But we make time for what we treasure. We make space for the people who are etched into the landscape of our hearts. When you are the only one tending to the garden of your relationship, the roots will wither, the silence grows, and it becomes a heavy blanket in your home. You find yourself staring at the phone, a silent prayer on your lips, bargaining with God for just a small sign that you are still remembered. This one-sided effort, it chips away at your soul. It makes you question your own worth. Did I say something wrong? Did I push too hard? Am I too much? Let me quiet those voices for you right now. You are not too much. You are a mother, a grandmother, a wellspring of love and wisdom. Your desire for connection is not a weakness, it is a sign of your beautiful open heart. But a heart can be broken by knocking on a door that will not open from the other side. Recognizing this pattern is not an act of bitterness. It is an act of profound self-respect. It is the moment you stop asking why they won't call and start asking why you keep waiting. If this resonates with you, I want you to know you are not alone in this vigil of waiting. Share your story in the comments below. Your words can be a great comfort to another woman who is sitting in the silence, just like you. I read everyone as a prayer. Your worth is not measured in returned phone calls. It is inherent. It is divine. It is unshakable. Seeing the silence for what it is, a sign is your permission to stop pouring your energy into a dry well. It is your invitation to turn that love, that hope, that longing back toward yourself. The second sign is what happens when you do manage to connect. The visit feels rushed, a duty fulfilled rather than a joy shared. Maybe you've cooked their favorite meal. The house smells of comfort and memory. You've set the table with care, and they arrive, but only part of them is truly there. Their eyes drift to their phone constantly. You ask about their life, their work, their heart. You get polite, short answers. Everything's fine. Work is busy. There are no follow-up questions for you. No curiosity about your days, your thoughts, your own quiet struggles and joys. It feels like an interview, not an embrace. You are a task on their to-do list for the day, nestled between a trip to the grocery store and an oil change. And oh, how that hurts. To go from being the sun in their universe to a flickering candle in the corner of their life. You find yourself performing, trying to be interesting enough, cheerful enough to hold their attention for just a few moments longer. You shrink your own needs, your own stories, so as not to be a burden on their precious time. You swallow the lump in your throat when they check their watch for the third time in an hour. You smile and say, "It was so good to see you," as they are already walking toward the door, their mind on the next thing. And when they leave, the silence they leave behind is heavier than before, because it is a silence filled with the ghost of a connection that used to be real, that used to be warm and easy and full. This is not about being overly sensitive. You, a woman who has lived a life full of textures, of deep joys and profound sorrows, you know what genuine warmth feels like. You know the difference between a hug that is a home and a hug that is a hallway. When you feel that emotional distance, that cold draft in the room, do not dismiss it. Do not tell yourself you are imagining things. Your spirit knows the truth. Their presence without presence is a sign that the foundation has shifted. They are fulfilling an obligation to the role of a son or daughter, but they are no longer inhabiting the heart of it. And this is a truth you must allow yourself to see, not to punish them or yourself, but to free yourself from the exhausting work of trying to warm a room that has grown cold from the inside out. Your home should be a place of peace for you, not a stage for a painful play of pretense. Acknowledging this truth allows you to stop preparing the feast, and instead start nourishing your own soul. The third sign is a particularly sharp one. You learn about the major events of their lives from someone else, or from the cold, impersonal feed of social media. A new job, a promotion, a move to a new city, an engagement, even a pregnancy. You see a picture or hear a whisper from a cousin or a neighbor, and your heart stops for a moment. I didn't know. Those 3 words carry a universe of pain. You who held their hand as they took their first steps were not invited to walk alongside them in this new chapter. You, whose prayers have shielded them their entire lives, were not asked for your blessing. You have been moved from the inner circle to the outer court. You have become a spectator to the life you helped create. And the excuses they offer, if they offer any at all, are flimsy and thin. "Oh, it all happened so fast." I've been meaning to tell you. I didn't want to bother you, but you know the truth. We share our joys and our milestones with the people who are central to our story. When you are no longer on that call list, it is a deliberate choice. It is a quiet but clear message that they are building a life that you are not fully a part of. It stings, this feeling of being an afterthought. It makes you feel small, irrelevant. You start to wonder what you did to be demoted. You replay conversations, searching for a misstep, a wrong turn. But often it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Perhaps they are building a life that they feel you wouldn't approve of. Or perhaps they have simply grown into people who do not value the roots from which they came. Whatever the reason, the result is the same. You are left on the outside looking in. This is not just a simple oversight. It is a pattern, a consistent exclusion from the narrative of their life. And when you see this pattern, you must honor what your heart is telling you. It is telling you that the dynamic has changed in a fundamental way. It is telling you that you must stop waiting for an invitation to a life that is no longer your home. Your life, your story is still unfolding. It is rich and deep and worthy of being the main event, not a footnote in someone else's tale. When you are consistently left out of the loop, it is a sign, a painful but necessary sign, that it is time to shift your focus. It is time to stop looking at their life with longing and start looking at your own life with love and intention. Your joy does not depend on being included in their every moment. Your peace comes from creating moments of your own. The fourth sign is the invisible wall they build during conversations. You try to go deeper, to talk about things that matter, and you are met with a shutdown. You can feel it immediately. The shift in their tone, the change in their posture. You ask how they are, really, and they say, "I'm fine," with a finality that forbids any further questions. You try to share something from your own heart, a worry or a hope, and they offer a platitude, a simple phrase that dismisses the weight of your words. "It'll be okay. Don't worry so much." It is a conversational dead end. There is no room for vulnerability, no space for realness. The topics are kept safe, shallow and superficial. The weather, the traffic, the latest news. Anything to avoid the treacherous territory of genuine human connection. Maybe this is your story. You feel like you are talking to a polite stranger, not the child you raised. A child who once came to you with their scraped knees and their broken hearts. The child who you taught to use their words. Now those words are used to keep you at a distance. This is one of the most confusing signs, because there is no overt conflict. There is no argument, there is just nothing. A smooth, impenetrable surface where a door used to be. And you stand there wanting to connect, wanting to understand, and there is no way in. Sister, listen to my spirit on this. When someone repeatedly refuses to meet you in a place of emotional honesty, they are telling you they are not available for that kind of relationship with you anymore. It is not your job to take a hammer to that wall. It is not your job to exhaust yourself trying to find a crack in their armor. Your vulnerability is a sacred gift. Your heart is a holy place. Do not offer it up to someone who consistently signals they are unwilling to receive it. This is not about giving up on them. It is about honoring yourself. It is about recognizing that you cannot force intimacy where it is not wanted. Your desire for deep, meaningful connection is a testament to your soul's capacity for love. Do not let their closed door make you believe there is something wrong with your open heart. There are other souls in the world who will welcome that connection. Friends who will sit with you in the deep places. Community that will hold your stories with reverence. Your energy is precious. Stop spending it on a wall and start using it to cultivate a garden where you are welcome, where you can be your full, authentic self. This sign is an invitation to redirect your emotional investment into relationships that are reciprocal, nourishing, and real. The fifth sign is a slow, creeping poison. You begin to feel that your very presence is an irritation to them. It's in the sigh that escapes their lips when you ask a simple question. It's in the sharp edge to their voice when you offer a suggestion. It's in the way they roll their eyes just for a second when you start to tell a story. You start to feel like a burden, like your needs, your thoughts, your very breath are an inconvenience. One day you are making conversation, and the next you are the source of their unexplained frustration. You ask about their day, and they snap, "I just got home, can I have a minute?" You share a piece of good news about a friend, and they say, "Okay?" with a tone of dismissal. You try to be quiet, to be small, to take up less space, and they get annoyed that you are so withdrawn. You cannot win. You find yourself walking on eggshells in your own life, around your own child. You measure every word. You second-guess every gesture. The easy comfort that once defined your relationship is gone, replaced by constant, low-grade tension. You feel like you have to apologize for simply existing. Let me speak this truth directly into your heart. You are not a burden. You are a blessing. You who have given life and love and endless sacrifice should never be made to feel like you are in the way. This irritation they carry, this resentment that simmers just below the surface, is not yours to own. It is theirs. It may be a reflection of their own unhappiness, their own stress, their own internal battles. And they are, unfairly and cruelly, making you the target of it. But it is not about you. It's a reflection of their inability to handle their own emotions with maturity and grace. When your presence consistently triggers frustration in your child, it is a sign that the relationship is deeply fractured. It is a sign that they lack the tools or the will to engage with you in a healthy way. And you, my dear sister, do not have to stand there and be the emotional punching bag for their unresolved issues. If someone's name is on your heart right now, someone who needs to hear this, send them this word. Let them know they are not alone in this painful dance. Your peace is more important than their mood. Your emotional safety is paramount. This is the point where you must begin to lovingly, firmly detach. Not with a dramatic exit, but with a quiet retreat. You shorten the visits that leave you feeling drained. You limit the conversations that leave you feeling wounded. You stop trying to manage their emotions and you start tending to your own. This is an act of spiritual and emotional survival. It is you choosing you. It is you saying my well-being matters more than being in the presence of someone who consistently makes me feel small. And in that choice, there is immense power and dignity. The sixth sign often happens in public, and it is a sting of a particular kind. You are tolerated, but you are not celebrated. You are invited to the family gathering, the holiday dinner, the birthday party. Your physical body is there, but your spirit is left on the doorstep. You arrive, and your child gives you a quick, perfunctory hug, then immediately turns to someone else. They do not introduce you to their friends or colleagues who are there. They walk you to a chair in the corner and say, "I'll be right back," and then they disappear into the crowd for hours. You are left to fend for yourself, a stranger in a room full of their life. You watch them laugh and mingle and connect with everyone but you. You are present, but you are not included. You are an island and the sea of their social life flows around you, but never touches you. And you sit there with a polite smile on your face while your heart is breaking. You tell yourself not to be silly. They're just being a good host. They have to talk to everyone. But your gut knows the difference between a host who is busy and a child who is distant. A child who values you makes sure you feel welcome. They make a point to bring someone over and say, "This is my mother. I am so proud of her." They make a point to sit with you for a few minutes, to check in, to make sure you are comfortable. They anchor you in their world. When they fail to do this consistently, it is not an accident. It is a sign that they see you as an obligation, a box to be checked, not a cherished guest to be honored. Being invited is not the same as being wanted. And this truth, as painful as it is liberating. It frees you from the need to attend every event where you know you will be left to feel like a ghost at the feast. It gives you the permission to say, "No, thank you. I think I will stay home." Or to make your own plans with people who make you feel seen and celebrated. You are the matriarch, the queen, the elder. You deserve a seat of honor at the table, not a folding chair in the corner. Recognizing this sign is your cue to stop accepting invitations that cost you your dignity. It is your time to start hosting your own parties in your own life where you are the guest of honor. The seventh sign is the refusal to face conflict. Every family has misunderstandings. Hurt feelings are a part of life. But healthy relationships have a mechanism for repair. They have a willingness to talk things through, to listen, to apologize, to forgive. In a fractured relationship, that mechanism is broken. When you try to address a hurt, you are met with a wall of avoidance. You say gently, "I was hurt when you said that." And they respond with, "I don't want to talk about this." Or they get defensive. "You're always so sensitive." Or they turn it around on you, where you're the one who, there is no accountability, no empathy, no desire for resolution. They would rather let the poison of a misunderstanding linger in the air than have the difficult, honest conversation that could lead to healing. And so the hurts pile up, layer upon layer of unspoken resentments and unresolved issues. The relationship becomes a minefield, and you are constantly afraid of taking a wrong step. This refusal to engage is a powerful sign. It says this relationship is not important enough for me to do the hard work of maintaining it. It says your feelings are not as important as my comfort. It says I would rather let us drift apart than face this with you. And when someone shows you this, you must believe them. You cannot be the only person in the relationship who is willing to do the work of repair. You cannot heal a wound if the other person keeps pretending it isn't there. Maybe you are in this loop right now. You feel a distance, you try to bridge it with conversation. They refuse and the distance grows wider. It is an exhausting, soul-crushing cycle. And today is the day you can choose to step out of it. You cannot force someone to meet you on the bridge of reconciliation. You can only stand on your side with your heart open, and if they choose not to walk across, you must eventually turn around and walk back to the safety of your own shore. This doesn't mean you love them less. It means you love yourself more. It means you recognize that your peace cannot be held hostage by someone else's unwillingness to communicate. You release the need to fix it. You surrender the outcome to God, and you focus on bringing peace and healing to your own heart, a space where you have full control. This is not defeat, it is wisdom. The final sign we will speak of today is perhaps the most blatant. They begin to act as if you are not there, even when you are right beside them. It's more than just being ignored at a party. It's a fundamental erasure of your presence. You might be in the car together, and they will talk on the phone to a friend the entire time, as if you are merely the driver. You might be at their home, and they will carry on a full conversation with their spouse or their children, with their back to you, never including you in the circle. They make plans in front of you for the coming days or weeks, and those plans do not involve you. They don't even acknowledge that you are hearing them. It is a profound and shocking invisibility. It is as if you have become a ghost in your own family. And there is no way to misinterpret this. This is not a matter of them being busy or distracted. This is a clear, consistent, and painful signal. They have moved on, and they are not making any effort to hide it. Their life, their world, their focus has moved so far away from you that your physical presence is no longer a factor in their behavior. When you experience this, the pain is sharp and deep. It is a direct hit to the heart, and there is no excuse for it. There is no justification. It is a failure of love, of respect, of basic human decency. And when you have reached this point, when you are being treated like a piece of furniture in the room of their life, the time for hoping and waiting is over. The time for making excuses is over. The time for shrinking yourself to see if they will notice you is over. This is the moment of your liberation. This is the moment you must fully and completely turn your face toward your own life. This is the moment you must gather your dignity like a royal robe around your shoulders and walk away. Not in anger, not in a storm of tears, but in quiet, powerful, resolute peace. You are not invisible. God sees you. You see, and that is more than enough. So now you have heard the signs. Perhaps your heart is heavy. Perhaps you feel a sad recognition. Breathe. Just take a slow, deep breath. Let the truth settle, not as a judgment, but as an observation. Seeing these things clearly is your first step out of the fog of confusion and pain. You cannot control their actions. You cannot change their heart. But you can change your response. You can choose your own peace. And so, I want to pray with you. Right here. Right now. Let this be a prayer of release, of reclaiming, of resurrection. Heavenly Father, you see the heart of your daughter. You see the silent tears she has cried. You see the love she has poured out. You see the ache of a distance she did not create. Lord, I lift her up to you now. This beautiful soul who has loved so well, who has given so much. I ask that you would wrap your arms of comfort around her. Remind her, Lord, that she is seen by you, that she is known by you, that she is cherished by you. Remind her that her worth is not determined by the attention of her children, but by the fact that she is your child, a daughter of the King. Father, I pray for a severing of the soul ties that bind her to this pain. Release her from the exhausting work of chasing after a love that has pulled away. Release her from the feeling that she is not enough. Fill the empty spaces in her heart, Lord, with your perfect peace, a peace that surpasses all understanding. Let her feel her own strength today, the resilience you have woven into her very being, the love that she still has to give. Turn her mourning into dancing. Show her the new paths you have for her. Let her rise from this place of sorrow, not with bitterness, but with a quiet, holy strength. May she stand tall in the knowledge that she is whole, she is worthy, and she is deeply, deeply loved. Not because of who she is to others, but because of who she is in you. Amen. My dear sister, your story is not over. This chapter of pain is not the end of the book. Your life is a sacred text, and there are still so many beautiful pages to be written. Do not spend your precious golden years waiting by a window for someone who may never return in the way you remember. The world is wide, and it is full of people who will treasure your presence. Your community needs you. Your friends need you. There are younger women who need your wisdom. There are other lonely souls who need your smile. Pour your love into soil that will return it to you in beautiful blossoms. The woman who laughs, who creates, who learns, who dreams, she is still there. She has been waiting for you. Take her by the hand and walk into the sunshine of a new day. You are not forgotten. You are not disposable. You are a pearl of great price, and your value is immeasurable. Live like you know it, because it is the gospel truth. If this message has touched your heart today, and you feel moved to join a community of women who understand, who care, and who are walking this path together, then I invite you to become a part of our sacred circle. Subscribe to this channel. You have a seat at this table. We are here for you always. And remember, you are loved. You are cherished. And you have everything you need right inside of you to live a life of peace, purpose, and joy.